Hi guys, LCFifa here, and welcome to my first FIFA 23 player review with this 89 rated Ederson goalkeeper review. With FIFA 23 having just been released, there's loads of new players for me to try out, and I'm still trying to learn the game at the moment. I also haven't had too much experience with different goalkeepers, and they do seem slightly worse than last year, so I'm trying to be as fair as possible in my review of them. Anyway, this is the team I started him in. We've got Ederson in goal, Semedo, Carlos, Akanji and Tierney in defence, Barnes, Rice, Bissouma and Saka in midfield, with Nunez and Martial in attack. Ederson 6'2", is left-footed and has a 1-star skill moves and a 3-star weak foot. Looking at his stats, he's got 87 diving, 82 handling, 93 kicking, 88 reflexes, 64 speed, which is broken down to 64 acceleration and 63 sprint speed, and 88 positioning. I did use him only with a basic chemistry style, but you also might want to try out something like glove, which would boost his diving, handling and positioning. I also used him with max chemistry in the whole time I played with him, which gave him +4 in all of his stats, apart from sprint speed. Looking at his traits, he's got long passer, which doesn't really do anything, rushes out of goal, and comes for crosses. With Ederson being 6'2", which is on the smaller side for a goalkeeper, it's great to see that he has 87 diving, as it allows him to make great saves at full stretch to reach the ball. At the release of FIFA 23, it places him as one of the best rare goal diving goalkeepers in the game. He makes both one and two-handed saves, depending on the shot he's facing, and he can also throw his whole body behind the ball if he's in the position to do so. However, in my first few games of Ederson, he did seem quite weak against good shots from range. Since those first few games though, I haven't noticed this being a problem anymore, but that might be just because I have improved on my ability to close people down around the edge of the box, so they no longer have the time to take these types of shots. So this is just something to keep in mind when using him. Like his diving, Ederson's reflexes puts him up there with some of the best goalkeepers in the game. Although he might struggle from the occasional shot from outside the box, inside the box, he manages to pull off some amazing quick reaction saves. As I'm still learning the game and getting used to defending in FIFA 23, having a goalkeeper like Ederson with high reflexes can be essential to you holding out for a win in difficult matches. Where I noticed the biggest difference between Ederson and lower rated keepers was when facing shots from tight angles. Ederson can stick out a hand to get a touch on the ball to push it past the post, whereas this seems to be an area that lower rated keepers struggle with this year. His handling wasn't great, but it wasn't bad either. I think this is the most realistic handling I've ever seen in FIFA for a while when it comes to goalkeepers with low 80s stats. Ederson will hold on to shots that lack in power and are a decent height for him to catch. He also sometimes had an animation where if the shot was chest height but had a decent amount of power behind it, he would palm the ball down to the floor and then catch it on its way back up. Another positive to his handling is that when he didn't manage to catch the ball, Ederson would push it away from danger, either out wide or behind the goal, which prevents conceding rebound goals. Against crosses, he also managed to hold onto the ball rather than punching it away. However, he doesn't get those diving animations that some other goalkeepers will, where he catches the ball in the air whilst nearly at full reach. 64 speed makes Ederson the joint third fastest goalkeeper currently in FIFA 23, and is the perfect option if you like to use your goalkeeper as a sweeper keeper. This stat would still be considered good towards the end of the game, but having a goalkeeper this early on in FIFA being this fast is a real advantage. He's great at rushing out and closing down space between himself and the attacker, which can reduce the overall amount of goals you concede, especially in one-on-ones. His speed is also key when it comes to reaching crosses into the box. He does also have the comes for crosses trait, so both crosses in open play and against corners, Ederson is reliable at coming out to reach the ball. 93 kicking makes Ederson currently the best in the game in this category. Kicking out of his hands is very powerful and can easily place the ball deep into your opponent's half of the pitch. This is great if you need to start up a counter-attack, although it does take a little bit of time to get used to how much power you need to put onto the kick so that your attacker can reach it. Off the floor, his kick was also very accurate and powerful, which comes in handy when you need to clear the ball away from danger whilst under pressure. Ederson doesn't have the long throw trait, although his throw did seem quite powerful and accurate most of the time, and never really caused me any issues. Finally, his positioning, which on the whole was okay. In most games, you probably won't see any issues with his positioning when facing shots, although occasionally, having gone back and watched some of the goals I conceded, I wouldn't say that Ederson was always in the best position to reach the ball. Having said that, most of the goals that I did concede, I wouldn't expect a goalkeeper to save anyway. It's just that when the attacker is facing the goal and shooting across from goal at an angle, I think he did slightly favour his near post side too much in some situations. Another thing to consider is the fact he does have the rushes out of goal trait, which can force him off his line without you manually telling him to come out. Again, this doesn't happen very often, and when it does, it's not always a bad thing because of his speed. So overall, I'm going to give 89 Ederson an 8.6 out of 10. He's a very solid option for a goalkeeper, both in the game as a whole and in the Premier League, and I'm very happy that I used him to kickstart my FIFA 23 player reviews. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed the video, please leave a like and don't forget to subscribe, and to request any future content and player reviews, please just leave a comment in the comment section below, and I'll be sure to reply.